All right, so this video, I'm going to pause this, but let's read the caption, right? What we're about to see is someone said that this is the most humane way. I got to add this. I got to add some of the things that was said here. We're going to pause. All right, so here's came across this video, this post by in one of these groups. It said, trigger warning, scroll by if you don't want to see an animal shot. Anyone who disagrees with this, what would you do? I happen to think that this is the best and most humane way possible. All right, so let's go ahead and read the comment here from BTS with Marissa. So I don't know if I will get banned from Facebook for posting this. If you don't want, you can handle seeing animals being gunned, then skip now. The cuzzy captured hubby for me today. He was dial a shooter when you need him. And his gun, lol, they needed someone to do this. Big fella who was quite stroppy and chasing the kids that were trying to get to the creek. Straight to the freezer he goes. My love is on fire. All right, so this is interesting. Let's go ahead and move this. All right, you can see this guy right here on the left side of the screen. And then you see this bull, and I zoomed him in there. Let's go ahead and play this. Okay, he's lining up. He gets there. The bull is looking at him, and now he holds up his gun. Okay, he's holding up his gun, and boom. The bull is down. The bull is down right here. So right here, instant. There's the instant death of the bull being down. And then the bull is on the ground. And that's after the bull is on the ground. So who disagrees with this? Well, I mean, right away, I absolutely disagree with this. How could anybody agree with what just happened here, really knowing no context other than, and here's what I'd like to point out, who was quite stroppy, and I had to look up what stroppy meant, because I don't know what stroppy or stroppy, I didn't know what it was. So let's go ahead and let me edit it before. Let me pause this. All right. So, stroppy, bad-tempered and argumentative. This is what stroppy means, bad-tempered and argumentative. So this is what the comment was. It was quite stroppy and chasing the kids that were trying to get to the creek. So just on land, the bull is trying to protect, its people or its other companions or its territory. I mean, these are animals. This is a bull, and it's obviously fenced in. You can see the fence there. But this guy just came out and shot it. One bullet, looks like to the head and between the eyes, and this bull is dead, no longer with us. His life has been taken away from him. And what was it for? What was it for? So I absolutely disagree with this in no context. But now, even knowing the context of this, he was acting stroppy, bad-tempered and argumentative. So maybe was, not like, I don't know, like it was just a little aggressive. So, and then it was chasing the kids that were trying to get to the creek on its land, on its, natural habitat. We put him there, and they was quite stroppy. So had a bad temper and was arguing maybe. So is that a good justification to do this to this bull? Now let me go ahead and share what my comment was. And so there we go. Okay. So here is, where'd I go? Okay, here's my response. I disagree with this completely. It didn't look necessary at all. What did the animal do or have that morally justifies doing this? Now, I think, again, moving this animal here, this is when the animal's dead on the ground, but this animal is just standing there. You know, had a bad temper and was chasing the kids that were trying to get to the creek. Let me go ahead and highlight this. So this is, you know, this is what this animal was doing or convicted of, or call it, you know, the reason, and chasing the kids that were trying to get to the creek and was being Stroppy, was quite stroppy. I should highlight all. Let me go ahead and get rid of this one. You can. Okay, so they called this guy okay. So this animal was this, you needed someone to do this big fella, you know, big fellow. So kill this animal, who was quite stroppy, who was bad tempered and argumentative, and chasing the kids that were trying to get to the creek, like chasing them. I don't know. I mean, what would have happened if the kids, you know, got caught by them? But they shouldn't be on their territory. They got to know, like, hey, stay away. Especially if this bull is violent. I mean, animals are. You never know what animals are going to do. You know, so they got to. I mean, you got to tell the kids to stay away. You know, that would be the first thing that I do. But that's the reason of this animal getting dropped, like just being shot in between the head and dying and instant death. So anyone who disagrees with this, absolutely, this seems to me does not justify the reason for killing this animal. Whatever, regardless of what you do with the animal, or what you know, if you got meat out of the animal or whatever, this was not a good justification of, you know, he was all this animal was accused of being bad tempered and argumentative, and was being quite stroppy, and then chasing the kids that were trying to get to the creek. So, you know, again, on, you know, call it whatever property, but these animals are going to do instinctually what they're going to do. You know, and that's protect their breed or their dominance or their territory. And so, yeah, I'm going to chase the kids out. Or it could have been in fun, not sure. I certainly wouldn't want to be having a bull chase me down, especially if seems to be angry or in heat, or you know, something that the bull is doing. So this is what I would say. What would you do? I wouldn't do this. There's way better options than to just call somebody to shoot the animal who's being bad tempered, argumentative, and was chasing the kids that were trying to get to the creek. They could have found a different way. They could have, not gone onto the property. They could have, I mean, again, you're going to risk them being, maybe enclose the animals to protect the kids. I don't know, but let's just shoot the animal. I'm not a fan, and I absolutely disagree with this. It didn't look necessary, so it's not necessary. So we could easily, I'm going to say, maybe shift responsibilities or ownership of this animal to someone else that would maybe take it or try to tame it, or would go, to a sanctuary somewhere, maybe on its own. I'm not sure, but killing the animal certainly wouldn't be the first thing that it would come to mind and be justified just by someone saying, you're like, yep, we're just going to kill it. The animal didn't do anything. Like, what did the animal do have morally justifies doing this? So to me, this is what this animal is accused of or did, straight from the post. This is the reason why this individual went out and shot this animal between the head on the field. Now, back to what the original comment was I happen to think that it's the best and most humane way possible. And I'd say out of all the deaths, I mean, I think even humans would agree, the instant death and not knowing what happened or have time to feel pain or suffer, I absolutely agree that is, I would say the best death. The problem is that this animal didn't choose that for him, and someone else got to choose for that animal's life, like for that animal, like such a huge decision, the one decision that would mean everything, literally the animal's life. They're deciding and saying, yep, this animal's bad-tempered, argumentative, and was chasing the kids, and then now we have to shoot them in the head. And to me, that is definitely not a good enough justification to do this, to do something like this. There's so many other options, and we can't just make violence and death of these animals just normal. Like, this is not normal. Do I think it's the best, most humane way possible? I do. But I also don't think that this animal deserved to die right now and now, like right then and now. This animal had many years left in its life. And what I think happens to this animal, I mean, matters to the animal. And so just like us, what matters, what happens to us matters to us. This animal, what happens to that animal matters to that animal. And you wouldn't want somebody to take or end your life, whether or not it was instant, lights out, whatever. Like, that's not something that you would allow someone else to decide. That is not something, if you got control over that, you would say, no, absolutely not. I do not want that. Or would you want that for your family? Would you want that for the people that you know were close to you? And why? Is it because just of your relationship, it doesn't affect you? But what if it was someone else? What if it was someone else's animal, and that animal was just, you got to decide whether that animal just died and got shot. Someone else came out and to shoot that animal and take that animal's life from them. So to me, that is not what we should be doing. This is not a good thing. This is absolutely, there's no moral justification of it other than, the animal was being quite stroppy and chasing the kids that were trying to get to the creek. I mean, you mean to tell me that animal wasn't coming after you and like you weren't defending yourself? Like, that man was called out to go hunt and kill that animal, to put himself, 50 feet from that animal and shoot that animal into the head and then drop that animal instantly. But I can assure you this, that animal did not want to die. Similarly, like, you didn't want to die. And there's really no other way to put it. This animal, we get to decide the death of this animal. It's just, that's the reason. So that's the problem. They don't have the right to their own life. Like, nobody's going to be held accountable for this. Like, this was all within legality. It was all lawful. And nobody looks at this as, this is just that animal's life being taken from them by one person's decision. Like, there was no just cause for doing this. And if you look at the circumstances, this does not deserve to be, to death, in my opinion. Any right person, if I were to speak up for this animal was life taken from them. Similarly, like what we see in, videos going around now, like this animal was doing nothing, was not in, if you played this into a courtroom, this animal, did not do anything. And this guy literally murdered this animal. I mean, if you want to put in humans terms, but it's all legal. And do I think it's the best and most humane way possible? Yeah. But again, we shouldn't be the ones deciding that.